Even though it's early in the year, I've already made my list of the most anticipated laptops for 2022. Some are informed by the news announced early in January at the CES show, while others are based on my speculation about what I expect to see. And of course, I'm leaving room for surprises later this year. I think the big picture-wise for laptops in 2022, I anticipate that many of them will have better webcams, full HD cameras, and frankly, they should have had those for years. Still, we're not really going to see it in everything this year, but I'm still putting on my must-have list. I also think we're going to see a lot more products with integrated 5G laptop tablet hybrids, and we're going to see devices that have graphic muscle to be pegged as a gamer. Today on Rocket Review, we'll be looking at the most anticipated laptops coming in 2022. Kindly hit the notification button to be notified when next I post new videos. Let's get started without further ado. The first on my list of anticipated laptops for 2022 has to be a new MacBook Air. The current version of the MacBook Air was released a little more than a year ago. It had the same basic look and feel like the Air, but added Apple's new M1 chip, replacing the Intel processors, which was great, but since we've had a new MacBook Pro laptops with even better chips, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, as well as Full HD cameras. So we could see a refreshed Air this year with an M2 chip or possibly the M1 Pro or M1 Max. Hopefully that higher resolution webcam that Apple is gradually putting in all of its computer products, and possibly a new design because the old one has been around for a couple of years now. The Dell XPS 13 Plus is also on my list of most anticipated devices. I saw it in person just before the CES and it's a cool looking laptop. A new take on the classic XPS 13, which has always been one of my favorite super portable 13-inch Windows laptops. The removal of the headphones jack is an interesting risk that this model is taking. Even Apple hasn't done this for MacBooks yet, but perhaps they will. I'd be curious to see how people react to that. They're also getting rid of the function bar button row at the top, replacing it with something similar to the now defunct MacBook Pro Touch Bar. So it's these backlit touch-sensitive function key buttons, and it saves you some space and lets us make it a little thinner. I think it'll be just fine. But some people may object to not having the tactile sensation, particularly on the escape key. I like the minimalist design of the XPS 13 Pro. It even does away with the indented touchpad in favor of a long piece of glass along the front edge. The touchpad part goes from past the spacebar to past the spacebar on this side, but there's no differentiation. You can't see it with you, and you just have to kind of feel it and develop some muscle memory for it. So between the no headphones jack, the touch style function keys, and the lack of discernible touchpad, this system is taking a lot of risks, but I think it looks very cool and it'll be great to try something new and different. You may like it or dislike it, but you will undoubtedly think it is attractive. I'm also excited to see the Asus Fold 17. Flexible screen laptops where the screen folds have been around for years now, but only on a very small number of computers and prototypes that we've seen. On the phone side, flexible screens are slowly becoming more useful. We're finally getting into the second, third, and fourth generation of these phones where they might be practical and people will use them as their main phones. Having a big screen that folds is going to be making it hard to use, but if it's even a little good, I think this is going to be a big cult hit. It has a 17-inch screen that folds in half, so when you do that, you can use it as a smaller laptop with a 13-inch screen. There are a lot of other ways you can flip it around and bend it and use it now, but will this work for you? Is it worth it? One system I'd like to see is the HP Elite Dragonfly Chromebook. We've been arguing for years that most people don't need anything other than a Chromebook for regular everyday computing and education. We've shown that one area where that hasn't happened is in business and professional laptops, which is largely due to the need for additional apps. You know, you need some security stuff on there, and they just won't sign off on Chromebook well. This Dragonfly Chromebook is the first to support Intel's vPro platform, which is used by IT departments to remotely manage your laptop and perform security and updates. To be honest, it's a must-have for some businesses, so if you have a Chromebook with it, you've overcome one of the major objections. Off the list, I'm also interested in this because it's part of the Dragonfly line, which is a nice-looking, slick HP business line that previously was Windows laptop but now has a Chromebook version as well. And I think it'll be notable because it's going to be a high-end, very professional-looking Chromebook that's targeted at businesses rather than everyday people surfing the web at home or students. For the time being, I'll round out my list with the Alienware X14. This will not be the most powerful gaming laptop you see this year, nor will it have the most flashing lights. What it does is bring back a concept from a few years ago, when some companies were making smaller 13-inch gaming laptops. And I always thought that these were great because they let you have something portable that you could use as your everyday computer. It is a carry-around laptop, but it also has enough gaming muscle to be a gaming laptop because there are slim 15 and 17-inch gaming laptops out there, but they still have a really big footprint that you can put in your bag and take to the coffee shop with you or trade. Now, inside the slim 14-inch laptop, you can get up to an NVIDIA 3060 GPU, which is not at the top of the scale, but it is sufficient for a 13 or 14-inch laptop. It's really good, and it also has a 144Hz screen, which is ideal for a lot of gaming. The jury is still out, or we haven't heard much about what the battery life will be, and I believe that will be a big deciding factor in whether or not this will work for you. The price is reasonable and the performance is adequate given the 14-inch screen and what is essentially a 13-inch laptop body that is very thin. This could be a great hybrid of gaming laptops and travel laptops, and I'm excited to see it in person. More than a month or two ago when I got a quick sneak peek at it, but these are the laptops that have jumped out at me so far. These are the ones I'm most excited to see, which is why I'm calling them my most anticipated. I'm sure new systems will be added to the list as the year progresses, and I believe we'll see a lot of devices designed for our hybrid work from home, work from the office lifestyle, items built around, and making video communication easier and more visually appealing. And that's all for today, folks. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another amazing video from us. Until next time.